This is breaking news.
Scream Queens at 10, the forgotten horror comedy that gave its stars a leg up. In the post-Wicked hubbub, you might have been served a clip of Oscar-nominated actor Ariana Grande lamenting that hell totally sucks, in part because Hitler's there motorboating her. This isn't some sophisticated AI ruse, but rather Grande's last pre-Wicked jump into acting, her featured role on Ryan Murphy's 2015 horror comedy series, Scream Queens. By 2015, Murphy had been dominating television for more than a decade. First, with his offbeat medical black comedy/drama Nip/Tuck. Then with 2009 high school serial Glee. His 2010s Netflix deal led the New York Times to crown him the most powerful man in TV. The writer and director had already started to dabble in horror by this point, producing 2 wonderful seasons and 10 male ones of the gory anthology American Horror Story. Nowadays, the 59-year-old is keeping busy raiding real-life coffins for his monster and American Crime Story series. But in the mid-2010s, there was a short, glorious blip when Murphy took the high-stakes, ridiculous drama of Glee, combined it with his love of the grotesque, and came up with Scream Queens, the short-lived black comedy more concerned with pithy dialogue than making any kind of sense. It also featured wildly committed performances from stars who were just about to break, including the last semi-substantial on-screen role from Ariana Grande before she started holding space for Wicked. In honor of Scream Queens turning the big one to 0, here's everything you should know about Ryan Murphy's most bonkers creation. What is Scream Queens about? Scream Queens follows the members of sorority Kappa Kappa Tau, an elite college institution that harbors a few secrets underneath its lavish staircases. The KKT president is Channel Oberlin, Emma Roberts, the supreme mean girl who refuses to learn her underlings' names and simply refers to them as the channels. There's Channel number 2, Ariana Grande, Channel number 3, Billy Lord, and Channel number 5, Abigail Breslin. There was a Channel number 4, but she got meningitis and then went home and died. Be prepared for this kind of ostentatious callousness. Right when Channel is about to get everything she wants, a serial killer called the Red Devil turns up on campus and starts chopping co-aids. There are a lot of eclectic characters revolving around the channels. There's New Pledger's Grace, Skylar Samuels, and Zayday, Keith Palmer. These are our straight men earnestly hunting down the killer. There's Hester, Lee Michelle, in her greatest post-Glee role, the mysterious back-braced new girl. Then there's Chad Radwell, pre-breakthrough Glenn Powell, Channel's on-off boyfriend with a penchant for bow ties. It's 2015. Preppy was still in. Then there are the adults, the most interesting of which are College Dean Munch, Jamie Lee Curtis, a bona fide legacy Scream Queen, and police officer Venice, Niecy Nash, on her first step to a Ryan Murphy-aided Emmy win for his Dahmer miniseries. Season 2 keeps the channels, Dean Munch and a few peripheral characters, but swaps the college for a hospital setting, and the Red Devil for a new mysterious killer, the Green Me. But don't worry, it's just as gory and ludicrous. The impact of Scream Queens. Ever since he was put at the head of his own shows, Ryan Murphy has traded in the farcical. From a love interest being banged off a balcony to her death in Nip/Tuck to a school kid nearly being blinded from a rock salt slushie in Glee. Early Murphy offerings barely knew the meaning of the word grounded. Even his more serious earlier American Horror Story seasons featured screen icon Jessica Lange singing the name Gain in between being lobotomized. But around the time that Scream Queens wound down, Murphy started getting a taste for based on a real story, beginning with his AHS spin-off, American Crime Story, which has so far tackled the O.J. Simpson trial, Janney versus his murder, and the Clem Lewinsky scandal. As the decade clicked over, Murphy and collaborator Brad Falchuk dived even further into real-life horrors with their Monster series, with a season on Jeffrey Dahmer and the Menendez brothers in the can, and one on Ed Jane on its way. Murphy has come under increased scrutiny for sensationalizing the stories of murderers, which is why it's so refreshing to revisit a time when he let his imagination and reverence for classic horror dictate the action. Scream Queens is heavy on the creative kills, but it is also immensely silly, allowing for some tremendous comedic performances to shine through its whip-crack dialogue. Years away from his cinema breakthrough, anyone but Glenn Powell delivers one of his best creations in exceedingly rich, evil himbo Chad, who can be surprisingly progressive when it comes to his frat bros.